Today, we are going to interact with a great personality who is a former international badminton player, Aditi Mutatkar. Let me give a brief about her. Aditi Mutatkar is a former international badminton player and has represented India in all major events, including Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, and World Championships. She is a Commonwealth Games silver medalist and was ranked 27th in the world in the year 2008 in women's singles. After her retirement in sports, she enrolled in the Masters in Public Affairs program in UT Dallas with a specialization in nonprofit management. She was inducted in Pi Alpha Alpha Honor Society during her course and graduated in December 2017. After her masters, Aditi moved back to India to follow her passion of building a robust grassroots level sports and ecosystem in India. In her quest, she worked with Art of Play Foundation for 2 years, where she helped the organization in curating a grade specific curriculum and assessment structure for physical education, fundraising, and managed a program for 1,500 students in three government schools in New Delhi. In her time in AOPF, Aditi helped the organization give thousands of government school students access to organized sports. And currently, she is heading the Women in Sports initiative in Simply Sports Foundation. Her mission is to minimize the disparity of women participation in sports in India as compared to men and give girls access to their much deserved space on the playground. It is my honor to welcome Aditi Mutatkar on Timo Talk. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Sujana. Thank you for having me. I hope we have a fun chat.
So, I would like to start with how did you choose badminton as your passion?
Yeah, I think it was my dad. He used to play outdoor badminton, and he followed Prakash Padukone's journey very closely. I think, and that's why he started playing. And I also kind of joined him. I think in Bombay when my career started in Bombay when I was 9 years old. And he would take me, with him to play badminton, and he introduced me to the sport, and I absolutely enjoyed it from day one. I think and my hand-eye coordination was great. I never missed a shuttle, when I hit it. And so I think my parents saw a spark when I picked up that sport. And yeah, so I think my dad was in part reason for me to start playing. And my mom was always an athlete when she was younger as well. So there is some genetic factor, I think, with me picking up sports as a career. But yeah, so I think both my parents were kind of responsible to introduce me to the sport.
That is really nice to know. So I would like to ask, who is your badminton inspiration?
Badminton inspiration, I think, as a young athlete, it has to be Prakash Padukone because he also became my coach. I was 11 when I was inducted into the Prakash Padukone Academy in Pune. And I remember, I was very starry-eyed when I saw him for the first time. And then, of course, as I graduated in sport, I went to Bangalore and started training with him as well in Bangalore in the main academy. So I think starting out, it should be Prakash Padukone, but I think as I became an athlete and I started growing in the sport, it has to be Saina Nehwal because she was also a competitor at that time, but she really raised the bar for everyone at that time, and I think so both of them were kind of inspiring in their own ways.
Yes, many players look up to them for the inspiration. So, if you were not a badminton player, what would you be?
Interesting question. I love everything. I'm a very passionate person. So I write, I travel. I've done solo traveling all over the world. I love photography. I enjoy, eating. I love food. So there is a lot of things that I like. But I think I would be what I'm right now. I always wanted to kind of work in the grassroots levels in India and work with sports. So I am grateful that I am in a place in which I love what I do. So I think the non-profit sector and being one of the workers there, working at the grassroots level, that was what I always wanted to be, and I'm grateful that I get to do it. Yeah.
That's really nice, ma'am. My next question is, how do you advise someone to stay fit in badminton?
You have to be, persistent, and you have to persevere through, day in, day out. I think it's a knee, but it's a really long journey, and you have to kind of stay active every day. Also, with badminton, there are certain muscles, certain, parts of the body which are more used. I mean, of course, you use the whole body, but there are certain, parts of the body which are more crucial to the game, like the core area, for example, or the knees and the ankles. I mean, they are the first ones to get injured, I think. So I think, yes, I mean, you have to kind of do badminton specific training. And I also tell a lot of athletes that your training has to be more individualized. You can't, because every body is different, every athlete is different. So I would not give this one mantra. I think that doesn't work really. I think you have to work in a way which is smart. You, of course, you work hard, but it has to be smart. It has to be it has to be badminton specific, and it has to be individualized to your own needs. So don't just follow the crowd, I would say. Yeah.
All listeners will surely take note of your valuable input. And talking about the diet is like an important factor in a life of a sports person. So, what is the importance of sports diet?
Sports diet, of course, is a little different than the layman diet for sure. But as an athlete, I actually wasn't very specific on it. I absolutely enjoyed my food because I was working very hard, of course. I mean, there was 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours of training. But now I think things have changed. Nutrition, sports nutrition has reached new heights with the Djokovic of the world, the gluten-free diets, and there are so many things going on. And in the last, since I left sport, I have not been so much in touch with sports nutrition. But I would suggest, I think, every athlete to kind of have that as one of the factors in their training. Get professional help on this. Again, there are a lot of fads which go on, and I think we shouldn't follow the fads again. Again, like training, nutrition also is a very individualized kind of it's in a very individualized space. So you have to make sure that you are doing what is right for you, and you're not doing something that is right for your friend or your co-athlete. So it's very important, again, just as a training, and I would again suggest to get professional help on it, and make a very individualized plan.
Definitely agree with you. So, now moving from the physical attributes to the mental aspect, many people get diverted from their goal. So, how to stay motivated for a long and successful career?
I think the first thing about having a long career in sport is the factor that you have to love what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, it is going to be very difficult to last long. Also, you have to start enjoying your failures more than success, because that's one of the things that push you out, right? I mean, feeling a lot of times is not nice. I mean, it's of course not nice, but I think if you can persevere through your failure, learn from your failures, actively engage with them, you will find ways to kind of succeed. And once you start doing that, you start enjoying that process. So I think the mental setup in any sport has to be the fact that you have to love what you do. You have to love the pressure that comes with it. If you don't enjoy pressure, sport is not for you, because every day is pressure in sport, right? So you have to enjoy the pressure. You have to also enjoy failure. Like I said, that's a very important milestone for any athlete, to understand that failure is going to be part of your journey. And lastly, I would say that you have to build a very supportive ecosystem around you, because as an athlete, there are going to be lots of ups and downs. And if you don't have the right people around you, it's going to be very, very difficult to last long. So it could be your parents, it could be your support staff, like like your nutritionist or your trainer, your coach. These people are going to be your ecosystem, and if you can build those relationships really well, that will help you last longer in the journey. So yeah, I think these 3-4 things are very important.
That's really nice to know, and some valuable input there. So, sports is obviously the combination of physical fitness and mental toughness, as you said.
Yeah.
Now, can you describe badminton in just 3 words?
Fast, um, fast. I think there is deception in it. So deception, and what else? I think it's also very skill specific. It's what I don't actually have a. Sorry.
Skillful, yeah, as you said.
Skillful, yeah. There is a lot of
Yeah.
skills involved in the game. So I think, yeah. So I think deception, skills, skillful or whatever, and fast. It's one of the quickest racket sports in the world. So yeah, yeah. So maybe these are the three words.
Nicely described. Badminton. So we have many players doing well at national level, but they don't break into the international circuit. Why is it so? Is the line too difficult to cross over?
Yeah, I mean, anything at the international level is very difficult. But I think with the way badminton especially has been growing, it is not going to be as difficult because now we have examples in front of us. Even not just in women's singles, but also in men's singles, we have around 5, 6 players who are in the top 50 in the world. And this has not happened before. So, I mean, of course, we have cracked the code in some way. But of course, there are majority of us who don't make it big at the international level, and there are various factors for it. It could be the finance that is not available, it could be the right kind of support system which may not be available, it could be again the right ecosystem, like I said, the right support staff, the right parents, the right, everything has to come together to do really well at the international level. And I also believe luck, it plays a very important role, and I know that because I had always been injury prone through my career, so I know how important luck also is, and not everybody is going to have that. But I think the line actually is not that difficult to cross anymore because we have the examples right now in badminton. We may not have them as many in other sports, but badminton has right now a lot of examples, and it is in the international circuit we have broken that, the Chinese wall and the Indonesian wall that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, India is also being considered as one of the top nations when it comes to badminton. So I think we have to, of course, work very systematically to get more and more people into the international circuit. But it's not that difficult anymore. I think, I mean, I can envision that in the next, 10 years, we will get stronger from where we are right now.
Right. Because of the clarity you gave, I'm sure the nationalists right now are going to aim for the international.
Yes, totally, totally. We have to aim to be world champions, nothing shorter of that.
Badminton is a fun sport. So can you share some great memories, some fun memories from your sports career?
Fun memories. I think always, I mean, the fun was always in the travel. I mean, I loved traveling, and thanks to my sport, I always got to travel. I got to travel alone. I got to travel with teams. I absolutely enjoyed seeing the world through my sport. So I think travel always was fun for me. The other part was also, I think, the whole, the limelight of an athlete's career, right? I mean, all the interviews you give, like I'm giving one right now, but the interviews, the papers having your photos in it, right from a young age, I had that kind of an exposure. So that is fun. I mean, everybody enjoys the limelight, right? And an athlete gets to experience that. So I think that was fun as well. And I think the other part would be my relationships that I built, over the years, the relationships that I built with my coaches, the relationship that I built with my competitors, and who then now have become my friends. So I value that a lot. I think, all the relationships that I could build through the years. And having access to people like Prakash Padukone, Vimal Kumar, Saina, for that example. I mean, having all these people around you, it kind of changes the way you think about the perspective that you carry about life, right? Having such great people around you. So I think, yeah, so I think the fun part of my badminton would be traveling, the having right people and having the relationships that I have built through the years. And what else did I say? I forgot what was the third thing that I was telling you.
You said traveling, the limelight.
Exactly, the limelight. Yes, I mean, having access to, talking about your journey, and hopefully making a positive impact with it. So yeah, I think all of these three things were fun.
You've earned it, that limelight.
Thank you, thank you.
These are really nice memories. And now my last question for the day: what do you feel about the Timo Sports mission of promoting sports as a culture?
No, it's a great mission, but it's very difficult to do, I would like to say, because India is not still a sporting nation. And I think we still have to define what a sports culture means, because it's almost a philosophical question, and till we define it for ourselves, it's going to be very difficult to find a way to build it, right? I mean, the mission is great, and I wish you all the very best with it. I would also say, 50% of India's population is women, and they are not playing yet. So we need to get them playing, because I think when women start playing, the whole society will get on the ground, because they are a very important integral part of our society, and they are not being represented as much when it comes to sports. So yeah, I mean, it's a great mission, and I'm sure you have a long way to go. But I wish you all the best with your mission.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure this conversation will inspire millions and thousands, however, like we are trying to reach those many people, but whoever is going to watch this conversation will inspire them to take badminton as their um, main sport and do well in that field. Thank you, ma'am, for
Thank
your
you.
valuable time again, and we are looking forward to connect with you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
टीमो स्पोर्ट्स का उद्देश्य स्पोर्ट्स कल्चर को बढ़ावा देना है, जो लोगों में खेल भावना, मन की शक्ति और तंदुरुस्त शरीर के लिए बहुत जरूरी है। टीमो टॉक शो ऐसे लोगों से जुड़ेगा जो अपने आसपास स्पोर्ट्स रिलेटेड वर्क कर रहे हैं। अगर आपको हमसे जुड़ना है तो आप हमें ईमेल कर सकते हैं और हमारी टीम आपसे कनेक्ट करेगी। धन्यवाद।